Preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Line an 8 by 8 inch cake pan with parchment paper and allow the paper to hang over the sides just a little bit so you can use this to remove the bars once they're done baking. In a large mixing bowl, combine 71 grams or 2/3 cup of coconut flour, 100 grams or around a half cup of the brown sugar sweetener of your choice. I'm using brown monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever brown sugar sweetener you want. You can also adjust this more or less depending on how sweet you want your butterscotch bars. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 15 grams or around 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Sift or whisk these all together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 3 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so they stir in smoothly. Stir the eggs into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients are moist. Add a half cup of butter that's been melted and cooled. Make sure it is cooled. You do not want to add hot butter. Stir the butter in until everything is fully combined. Add 30 grams or around 2 tablespoons of room temperature plain yogurt or sour cream. Again, make sure this is room temperature so it blends together to make a smooth dough. And 4 grams or around 1 teaspoon of maple or vanilla extract. Stir everything together until it's fully combined and you have a smooth, moist dough that's been formed. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the dough to the center of the bowl. Then form the dough into a smooth ball. Massage the ball in your hands for about 20 to 30 seconds. This is just to make sure of the texture. The dough is going to be very moist, but it should not be sticking to your hands. If it's sticking to your hands, then you need to add just a tiny bit more coconut flour until the dough is no longer sticking to your hands. After you've massaged the dough, form it back into a smooth ball and place it back into your mixing bowl. Then allow the dough to sit uncovered at room temperature for about 5 minutes. This is going to help the dough absorb any extra moisture. After the dough has set for 5 minutes, use a wooden spoon and break up the ball of dough just a little bit. Then gradually fold in 3 ounces or around a half cup of Keto butterscotch chips. I'm using the Lily's brand of Keto butterscotch baking chips. You can use whatever brand you want. Just make sure you gradually fold these in until they are evenly distributed throughout the dough. You can adjust the amount of butterscotch chips more or less depending on how much you want in your butterscotch bars. Once again, scrape down the sides of the bowl and push your dough to the center of the bowl. Then form your dough into a smooth ball again. Place the dough ball into the center of your prepared cake pan. Then use your fingers or the back of a measuring cup and press the dough evenly throughout your cake pan. Make sure you get it as even as possible and keep the top nice and smooth. Once the dough is pressed evenly, place it into your preheated oven and bake at 375 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes or until golden and the tester comes out clean. Once the cookie slab is done baking, remove it from the oven. Allow it to cool in the pan for at least 30 minutes so that it can continue to cook and it can firm up a bit. After 30 minutes and the slab has firmed up, carefully grasp the overhanging parchment paper and gently lift the slab out of the cake pan and carefully transfer it to a wire rack. Make sure you do this carefully. It's still going to be warm, and gluten-free baked goods are always fragile when they're warm. Place the slab on the wire rack and allow it to cool completely before you slice it into the bars. Once the slab is completely cooled, cut it into your desired size bars. I cut mine bars that are about 1 by 2 inches in size. Once the bars are sliced, you can leave them as they are, but I like to put a little bit of a butterscotch drizzle on the top. So for the drizzle, all you would need to do is melt about 2 ounces of the butterscotch chips in 20-second intervals in your microwave or in a double boiler on your stovetop until the butterscotch chips are fully melted. Then you would place the bars on a piece of parchment paper and drizzle your desired amount of the melted chips over each one of the bars. If you do choose to put the drizzle on top of the bars, then after you have put the drizzle on, allow the bars to sit for about 5 minutes. That way the drizzle can firm up just a little bit. After the drizzle has firmed up, you can eat these immediately. If you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days, or in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 1 week. Eat and enjoy.